The holographic message flickered to life in the center of the Galactic Council chamber, transmitted simultaneously to every inhabited world in the known universe. Ambassador Amelie stood perfectly still in the observation deck of humanity's orbital station, her fingers gripping the metal railing as she watched the vote tally appear in glowing numerals. 5,847 civilizations in favor of Earth's exile, but against 3 abstentions. "Well," Pippin said from behind her, his voice oddly calm. "That's that then." Amelie didn't turn around. She kept her eyes fixed on the hologram as the council speaker, a floating jellyfish-like creature from the Myrtaxian collective, began its formal declaration. The translator rendered its bioluminescent pulses into sterile galactic standard. By majority vote, the species known as humanity from the planet designated Earth Sol 3 is hereby exiled from all galactic territories, trade routes, and communication networks. This exile is effective immediately and shall remain in perpetuity. The reasoning: excessive aggression, dangerous unpredictability, and fundamental incompatibility with civilized society. Pippin moved to stand beside Amelie, his reflection ghostly in the reinforced viewport. He was younger than her by 5 years, barely 30, but he'd been humanity's chief strategist since the first contact had gone so spectacularly wrong. "How long until the message reaches Earth?" 17 minutes, Amelie replied. President Chen wanted to address the people immediately after. "She won't need to." Pippin pulled up his datapad, fingers flying across the screen. "I triggered Protocol Exodus 3 hours ago." Amelie's head snapped toward him. 3 hours? The vote just... I saw the preliminary counts. The outcome was inevitable. His dark eyes met hers, and she saw no fear there, only cold calculation. "We always knew this was coming, Amelie. From the moment we refused to hand over our weapons technology, from the moment we wouldn't submit to their behavioral modification programs. They were always going to exile us. Or exterminate us," Amelie whispered. "They're too afraid for that. That's why we're still breathing." Pippin enlarged the display on his pad, and Amelie's breath caught. It showed Earth's moon, and the dark side that was always hidden from the home world's view. Except now it wasn't dark. It blazed with light, thousands of lights arranged in geometric patterns that stretched across the entire lunar surface. "What am I looking at?" "Humanity's answer," Pippin said softly. "We've been building for 40 years, ever since first contact. Every nation, every corporation, every military on Earth working together on a single project. We called it the Diaspora Initiative." Amelie's mind raced. 40 years. She'd been 7 years old when the Galactic Council first made contact. She remembered the celebrations, the hope, the belief that humanity had finally found its place among the stars. That hope had curdled quickly when the galaxy's elder races made their expectations clear. Submit, conform, or be isolated. "Ships," she breathed. 15,000 colony vessels, Pippin confirmed. Each capable of supporting 10,000 people in cryosleep for 500 years. That's 150 million humans, Amelie. We're not waiting for them to blockade our system. We're not waiting for them to decide exile isn't enough. We're leaving, and we're doing it on our terms. On the hologram, the council speaker continued its pronouncement, listing humanity's crimes, refusing to surrender quantum computing technology that was too dangerous for such a young species, establishing military installations that made the council uncomfortable, and most damning of all, declaring that humans would never accept second-class citizenship in their own galaxy. "Where will we go?" Amelie asked. "The council controls every habitable system within 10,000 light-years." Pippin's smile was sharp as broken glass. "That's the beautiful thing about being exiled, Ambassador. We're no longer bound by their laws, their territories, or their sense of what's possible." He pulled up another image, a star map unlike any she'd seen before. It showed vectors leading away from council space, trajectories that plunged into the vast, unmapped regions beyond the galactic rim. "The long dark," Amelie said. "You're sending them into unexplored space." "We're sending ourselves," Pippin corrected. "You and I are on the manifest for colony ship Magellan. Launch window opens in 6 hours. That's insane. There's nothing out there. No habitable worlds, no council, Pippin interrupted. No restrictions. No alien bureaucrats telling us how to live, how to think, what technologies we're allowed to develop. He turned to face her fully, and his expression softened slightly. They voted to exile us because we scared them, Emily. Because in 200 years of membership, we went from primitive rocket technology to quantum drives. Because we refused to stop asking questions, stop pushing boundaries, stop being human. On Earth below, Emily knew the notification was spreading now. Families would be gathering, decisions being made. Who would go? Who would stay? The 150 million chosen represented Earth's best and brightest, but also its most diverse. A cross-section of every culture, every nation, every way of being human. What about the ones who stay? She asked. They'll rebuild. The Council will probably impose sanctions, but they won't invade. It's not their way. Pippin paused. And in 500 years, maybe 1,000, when our colony ships find new worlds, when we've built a civilization free from their rules, we'll come back, not as supplicants, not as exiles, but as equals. Amelie looked out at Earth, that blue marble suspended in the black. She thought of her parents in Mumbai, her sister in New Sydney. She thought of coffee and rain and the weight of gravity that felt like home. Then she thought of the countless humans who would never see Earth again, who would die in the cold between stars, dreaming of worlds their children's children might touch. It's going to be hard, she said quietly. It's going to be impossible, Pippin agreed. We're taking a Stone Age species that learned to split the atom and pointing it at the cosmic frontier with no map, no allies, and no guarantee of success. Then why are you smiling? Pippin's grin widened. Because that's exactly the kind of insane, impossible, beautiful thing that humans do best. They wanted us gone? Fine, we'll leave. But we'll come back one day, and when we do, the galaxy won't be voting on humanity's fate anymore. He offered his hand. Coming, Ambassador? Amelie took one last look at the council chamber hologram, where 5,000 alien species celebrated their victory over the dangerous humans. Then she took Pippin's hand. Let's go find out what's beyond their little corner of the universe. 6 hours later, 15,000 ships lit their drives and departed Earth orbit. Not in retreat, but in promise. The galaxy had voted to exile humanity. Humanity had voted to become something more.